Hi, welcome to Bibs Off. I'm Kat Talbot.
And I'm Alicia Scholes.
We're launching this podcast this week to give you all the inside scoop of London Pulse. We'll be discussing all things London Pulse, all the inside gossip, all the behind the scenes. And to start us off, we're just going to talk to Alicia for a moment. So you've been at London Pulse for 4 years. How come you decided to move down from Manchester?
Well, I never really planned to move. Like when I was growing up, I feel like I came all the way through the Thunder pathway. And then I had a message from Sam, I think it was like the year before. And I just remember I had like a WhatsApp offer. But at the time I was still so young. I think I was only like 18. And she basically just said something along the lines of like, she just kind of let me know she was there, like for the future, whatever. Obviously, at the time, I would have never thought of leaving Thunder. So that message was kind of in the back of my mind. And then it was like the COVID season. I think I played a few games, but it was always clear, like at Thunder, there was always like quite a few people ahead of me. So I was never really going to play. And then we had the COVID season, and then a few things like, don't really want to get into it too much, but I feel like behind the scenes things were going on at Thunder. And then it was like that season. I think it was just after COVID. You know when it was the Wakefield season?
Yeah.
And it was like a week before. Do you know when the deadline closes? It was like a week before it ended. And I was thinking, like, oh, I've not heard anything of Karen. Like, and because every year I just signed for Thunder, I didn't even think twice that like, oh, like I might not actually sign again. And then I wish I could tell this story in full. It's actually I can't. So I messaged Sam and I was like, do you remember when you texted me a year ago? Obviously I didn't say it like that. But I was like, how, like, do you still think that'd be an option? And then Sam was like, I'm really sorry, I've got all my players, but you can be a training partner. So I was like, of course I'll do that. Like, I don't just want to stay at home. And then obviously I found out Berry was signing, which I was glad about because she was like my best friend from Thunder since I was really young. So I signed for Pulse as a training partner. Didn't think I'd ever play. And then what happened? Someone got injured. Can't remember who. Who was it that season? I think it could have been Hallie, you know. But someone got injured, and then so I just went in the team then. And then I ended up playing quite a lot because we didn't have Chelsea that year. So yeah, it turned out to all be all right.
And so you stayed with Pulse for 4 years. What do you like about the club that's made you want to stay?
I love Pulse so much. I was going to say, you know, on interviews, like I feel like sports people, they just talk shit and pretend it's all like heaven. Like I genuinely feel like that about Pulse. Like obviously not everything's perfect, but I just think like the environment is exactly what I needed at the time I got it. And it's just so like, it just feels like a family. Like you could be in the worst mood ever, you turn up and straight away like 3 people have made you laugh. And it's just, and I feel like Sam as well, like I feel like, you know, when people talk about like managers and coaches, it's almost like it can't, like the way you are and like your aura, like it can't be taught, like it's just the way you are. I feel like the way she is, she's just so like homely. Like you just feel like she's like your grandma or mum. Don't tell her I said that. Your mum? She feels like a mum. Yeah, I don't know, you just feel like you're at home here. And all the staff, it's like everyone involved with the club, I feel like it's just perfect. Like there's not, you know, when I feel like at work there's always one I actually can't help saying. But there just isn't here. Like everyone's just, there's not like an idiot or oh, I've got to deal with that person. I feel like everyone's just so calm.
And so you went to Fast Five recently, but you're also now in the squad for the Nations Cup. How excited are you to put on the red dress again?
I'm so excited. Well, I don't know if I'll put it on yet because I might have been with the squads. But hopefully, yeah, I can't wait. I feel like being an athlete in general, it's just hard in it because there's so many ups and downs. Obviously, everyone has there is times where you're not in the team, and like, I'm not gonna lie, it obviously does hurt. Like that sounds a bit deep, but you are gutted when you're not in teams. There's no point sitting there and pretending that you wouldn't want to be there. Like even like this, I think there was like 6 or 7 weeks it was away. Like it's a long time to be away from home, and there were times where I thought, oh, maybe like that could have been a bit much at this point in my career, but there wasn't like a day where I didn't see their stuff and think, oh, I wish I was there. Like I'm never gonna sit and pretend that I didn't wish that. But I'm just really glad. I feel like really grateful. I feel like every time you're in an England squad, and like the Insta post comes out and you see your name, like there's never gonna be a day where I don't see that and you still think, oh my god, like I'm actually in it. So yeah, I can't wait. I just hope that hope that I get court time. I think it'd be good to. I've never played against. Like, I've played against South Africa, but the other teams I haven't played against. So hopefully, like getting exposure against them will be really good. And yeah, I'm excited.
And so for next season, so there was a certain London Pulse post up recently. You shooting? Are you going to try the super shot?
I've been trying to sell myself as goal attack to Sam for about 4 years now. She's not buying it, but I think I am the backup. But no, the other day in training, I'm not even joking, she was like, "You're my fourth shooter." It's me.
Breaking news.
Yeah. We'll speak to her when she comes, but I think I've proved myself. I do shoot. Like for 10 minutes for every training, I literally shoot. Don't know why. I need to stop doing that. It's just fun. I'm accurate, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
It's when I don't have a 3-foot marker. Yeah. As soon as there's a defender in front of me, I literally can't see. I have to like step back.
So this season of Bibs Off, we will be talking to lots of other Pulse players. So we will be having Alicia, Hallie, Adio and Fumi Fadoju. We'll be speaking to Aussie import Tyler Orr about her move to England and looking forward to playing for Pulse. This episode, we're going to be chatting to London Pulse CEO Sam Bird. So, Liss, a little bit more on last season. So, up to the top 4, went out in the semi-finals. How did you kind of feel like the season was as a whole?
I think it was very up and down. Like there was times where I feel like, as like a fan or a viewer, it's probably really obvious like how it was going behind the scenes, because I think it just literally directly reflected on our games. I feel like sometimes it'd be like we felt like unstoppable, and then we was just so bad. Maybe it wasn't so bad, but I feel like the low moments felt like poor, and then the highs felt really high. It was almost like you'd feel like we could beat anyone, and then we'd be like goal for goal with like a bottom of the league team. So yeah, and then also I think it was obviously quite hard coming off the back of the season before where we had Jade and Chelsea. I think it was always going to be hard to almost like match the experience. And then Jade like dealing with her injury was quite hard, because it's almost like then we lost 2 really experienced players. So yeah, it's hard. I think maybe it benefited us overall, because I think it was just we did get exposed. There wasn't really anywhere to hide. But yeah.
So in this international season, like Liv has really stood up and played really well. Fumi's kind of got that goal defence bib. So how do you think like their experiences and everything going into the new season? Are you excited?
I just think that is the best thing ever for us. Like honestly, from being home and watching Liv, well obviously Fumi as well, but I just feel like Liv especially. I feel like she's had that for, it's not like all of a sudden she's got unreal, like she's been that good. But I feel like now she finally got a chance just to show everyone how good she actually is. She just did unbelievable, like, and I just think her confidence now coming into our team, I just feel like no one's going to be able to touch her.
And also with the super
no pressure, Liv.
And with the super shot, she's been like shooting in that like longer distance. So
super shot. Yeah, we was measuring it out actually at training last night, and we was having a debate because where Sam drew it on, apparently they're like the exact meter she was given, but the girls are saying that seemed too short because they was literally sinking them all. They probably will anyways. But yeah, I do. Fingers crossed, touch wood. I don't want to jinx us, but I do think that's going to work out really well for us, because even Sophie Kelly, like when the teams were signing, no one knew that super shot was a thing, which all the Twitter heads are kicking off about. But yeah, I think like Soph shoots from there anyway. I was saying to her at training, I don't think I've seen her shoot shorter than a 2-point shot. I don't know if I'm being deluded, but I just think it's normal for them to. And then especially Nick as well. I feel like she'll just be so calm with it.
And have you had an opportunity to speak to Tyler Orr much?
Tyler's going to be my new best friend, guys. And she's going to think I'm a weirdo. We've had a few DM back and forth convos, a few replies to each other's story. And actually, I don't really know what it is now, but me and my boyfriend broke up, and I was venting to her about that, which she probably thinks I'm a freak for, because I don't even know her that well. And I was telling her about my breakup. Oh, I'm embarrassing. But yeah, I think she's going to fit right in. I think she's going to be perfect. I seen her friend, I think she's called Lucy Austin. I seen her at Fast 5, and she was like, "You're going to love her. You're going to love Tyler." So yeah, I'm excited.
We've now got Sam Baird with us, CEO and Director of Netball at London Pulse, who is going to talk to us a little bit about last season. And first of all, Sam, sorry to do this to you, but are you over losing that semi-final to Loughborough last season?
Nobody's over it. Definitely not over it. Particularly frustrating when we beat them twice in the league. So really frustrating to underperform when it mattered. It's fair to say Loughborough probably performed at their very best in that game. So there's some small comfort that we drew out their best performance, but it's very much at our focus this year to make sure that doesn't happen again.
And not to go like too forensic, but when you look back at the game,
Sounds like she's about to.
I think she is.
How do you like reflect on the game in terms of like you made quite a few changes and things like that? So have you kind of gone back and looked at that game and kind of thought, I'm not sure if I should have done that? So
Only about 1,000 times. Obviously, as the head coach and the coaching team, you blame yourself first. So always looking to see what we did wrong, what we should have done, what we could have done. I think it was a weird one because we'd played them twice with pretty much two different front lines. Both performances were really good. And so we probably were caught in a bit of a quandary, I think. But I think, in truth, any of the roster we had, we should have beaten them. And I think we just underperformed as a group. And sometimes through the season, I think it's fair list. Sometimes the defence would be really good and then the attack wouldn't be great. And then sometimes the attack would be great and the defence weren't. And obviously to beat a team like Loughborough, everybody's got to be on it. And we just weren't. And there's lots of weird things about it because the two games we did beat them, preparation was a bit weird. So the first home game here was quite rushed. We had loads of other stuff on. We just got on court and the squad were brilliant. And then when we beat them away, the bus was late, I think, and I think we even broke down or we were late and we didn't have Liss and were you suspended at that point?
Yeah.
But we were really late and so the preparation was terrible. And then on the semi-final, we stayed up the night before. So did all those things right, but actually I felt like there was quite a lot of nerves in the camp with staying overnight, and that sort of built through the day. And then we trained in the morning, so we sort of did the things right, but it wasn't right for us. And so that's really for us to look back at and work out, what we did. Maybe we just rock up late this year and go on and play without worrying about it too much. We'll have to see, but yeah, it's still keeping me up at night.
And so kind of off the back of that season generally, when it came to the signing window, what did you kind of look to at your squads and what you wanted to add and kind of how you progressed on?
One of the things I think we talked to the players that we were re-signing was that we wanted an attacking centre. Unfortunately, Jade was injured for a lot of the season and Izzy sort of stepped in that centre role, but it is a defending centre. And I think our reflections were that we wanted to score more goals. So it was sort of a really big global search for an attacking mid-courter to match up with Liss. And so Tyler is a great response to that. I would say that, so I've recruited her. But I think, it's an attacking centre. She can play wing defence, play wing attack and can put the ball in. And I think early signs at training as well. Gracie's a nice feeder of the ball and is starting to connect really nicely with Liss. So I think one of our key things is to score more goals and have a better supply line to our shooters. And I think with the mid-court we've got this year, we've corrected that.
And so obviously big news about the Super Shop coming in, and we have discussed that Liss is going to be the fourth shooter.
I mentioned, I don't know if you're going to agree, but I said how basically I'm the fourth shooter now, aren't I? You can just admit it, it's okay.
I will admit it. The competition with the other people that want to be the fourth shooter is Fumi and Hallie.
And the thing is, fair enough, Hallie's got the height, but I put in the practice.
You are, and you actually score.
And I actually score.
Yeah. We're actually hoping for a further amendment, because why not? Because there are so many this year, that the wing attacks can shoot from the outside circle. And then I think Liss is just like, wing attacks and centres to shoot.
That would be a good change to the rules, because we don't want to completely follow SSN.
I'm happy not to follow SSN. I'm happy for us to be our own league and have our own originality. So I'm all for that. But I mean, the 2-point shot, super shot, whatever we're calling it, we happen to have 3 shooters that are all really comfortable long range shooters. And Sophie obviously is, that's one of her strengths. And Livy, everyone's seen, just scoring shots from downtown for England, and Nicole does that for South Africa. So although it's coming retrospectively, I think it suits the roster we've got.
And so we've heard you've been out on court with your little tape measure, so you've been using it for practice already.
Yeah.
Discussing whether we thought the range was right.
Yeah, it's because it's not the same as Fast 5, so it feels a bit easy. We were saying it's not that much pressure on the shooters, but we're playing Forest this week in a friendly, and we're going to see how they've mulked up the court and see how we go. It'll be good to sort of play it in under pressure to see how it goes. But it looked fairly easy last night.
Yeah, they were shooting and no worries.
And so, what about your tactics? Because we know it's not for the whole game, so it's just the end of the quarter. So, do you just, when you're going to come to analyse games and things, how will that change kind of how you look at it and structure things?
Oh, it's a big secret, Kat. But we actually talked quite a lot about this last night, didn't we? There's a few options, aren't there? What was our summary, really?
I was saying, don't judge me because this could be completely wrong, but I was thinking, surely, just say you're in a position where you don't need to get the 2s in, just get 1s until you need them. Do you know what I mean? Do you think that's an alright tactic?
Yeah, well, we were saying that, and then we were saying recognising a part of the game where you might need, if it's a tight game, then you might need to sink a 2, but we know we've got shooters that can do that. So I think it's not getting too excited about it as an option, and using it, as and when we need to, but otherwise playing quite normal netball. Yeah. But in fact, when we were practicing, normal netball for Sophie is 2-point shots anyway. So it's, fairly, and Livy was popping them in from 2 points as well. Yeah. So
saying, I don't think I've ever seen Sophie shoot from not the 2-point line. She doesn't.
She's been playing 2-point shots without knowing it. So we've done a little bit of, had the analysts guys look at 2-point shots from last year. And Sophie was actually, I think we were looking at her when she played for Bath against Loughborough, and she scored 5 in a row from a 2-point range against Loughborough last year. So that was quite a nice little bit of analysis that came through to my phone this morning by our analyst team.
And also, because we're only going to have squads of 10, so obviously probably not going to do as many subs as last year. So how will that work with squads as well, kind of managing, getting everyone on court, but kind of how you keep people fit and everything as well?
Yeah, well, it's been a bit weird, isn't it? We were saying training with just 10 is quite strange, not that we've had 10 yet. I think we get 10 of you together about 10 days before we play. Yeah, so having 10, it sort of does things that you need to really think about. So we were talking about the warm-up, so that now changes. So thinking about, really making sure everybody's ready to go with only 10 warming up rather than 12. I think having tactical subs means that we can be more flexible in getting people on and off and getting messaging. I mean, for me, genuinely, the 10 we've got, I'm just really happy with. I think we're versatile. Most players, in fact, every player can play 2 positions, if not 3. We've got good flexibility amongst the squad. And I think crucially as well, our next generation are really strong. And that's obviously where we draw our players from if we have injuries or illness. And I think it's fair to say that we've got strength in every sort of unit in the next generation that we can pull up. The rules allow you to pull up from other clubs as well, but our first principle would be to pull up from our own next generation squad, and we've been working quite closely with them. They're often on the court next to us, and so that's looking pretty strong as well. So, but I think strategically there's just a lot of difference with 10 players. It feels a bit strange, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just feels empty, really. So the biggest thing that I've noticed is the warm-up. Like, there's no one, even in, like, units, there's actually 3 of us in centre court, so it just feels like you don't really get as much of a break.
Yeah, so we're really looking at our warm-up and how to really adapt that to make sure we're ready to go when the time comes.
Can you confirm what Hallie's second position is? It's shooter or goal defence?
It depends who you ask.
Remember, she's going to be watching this.
Hallie would say goalkeeper, goal shooter. She's doing all right goal defence though. She's been playing goal defence in England camp, and she's been playing goal defence with us, and it's helping her get moving a bit more. And yeah, I think she's enjoying coming out of the circle a bit more. Not goal attack that yet.
In all seriousness, jokes aside, Hallie is a really good goal shooter.
She can hold.
She can hold, and she can get it in, you know.
Okay. Are you placing her over you on that? No.
Chill out.
So 5 shooters.
5 at least. I mean, Fumi wants to shoot as well.
Fumi at goal attack would be. I think that'd be really good as well.
I feel like I've heard Fumi say before that she wants to play goal attack.
She could just like, what's it called? Slam dunk every shot.
She could.
She actually could.
Is that one of the new rules?
It could be. We'll check next week.
So yeah, you mentioned about not getting the squad together till quite late for the Super Cup. So how has training looked for you guys when you've had to have the next gen, you've had some of the pathway players in as well?
Oh, I still think it's been productive. It's really important that the players that are in with us, because it's really hard for players like Liss when they're in and out of sort of an England programme and then they come into us for a short while. But the time they're with us is really valuable, and Wednesdays are our sort of technical session where we have pathway, next gen and Super League all together, and I really enjoy those sessions. And I know some of the pathway athletes are a bit like we're in there training with those guys, and they really look up to Liss and others there. But I think the standard's still there, and we're able to sort of put them in groups so that they're still pushing each other. But I think that's a really important principle of our club, that we develop our athletes, and we don't just say we do, we actually do it, because we put them in together for that sort of stretch. But I think the sessions have been fun. They've been quite hard because we've had, like, when there's just been like 4 or 5 of you, you've come off like pretty tired.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if like it's like, I don't know about you, but don't you think this year like there's just like a different feel about everything? Like, I just feel like the mindset's so different. Like, usually it's like, oh, we'll all be at England, then we're back in. And it's really hard to adapt. But this year, I feel like we've had such a positive mindset of, like, we're just trying to get the most out of everything. And I don't know, I just think there's a whole feel to this year. It just feels so much more, like, everything just feels right, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we've finally sort of kept the good things that we've been doing and then added to make things better. And there's a much bigger team behind the scenes as well. So for every athlete like Liss, there's about 20 members of staff. Most of
there's about 45 men who come to training with a laptop like that.
Yeah, so we've got a big analysis team. I just didn't go out and hire men.
You can have a coach to come to training.
Oh, okay. I'm sure we can afford that, Liss. Yeah, so we have a bus full of men that I've recruited. Yeah, big analysis team, and we've got GPS this year. So working with UEL, they've given us GPS units, and that's really good. So we've got another bunch of men looking at load and output. So that's really good. And then we've got a bigger physio team, and Amy's come in that Liss and others have worked with at England, and she's a really top quality physio. And yeah, so we've got a very big team. We've got a nutritionist for the first time that's having one-to-ones with all the guys. She's in at training, just sort of tightening up on those things, like, are you eating enough food through training as well as what you have before and after. So with the step change with professionalism, the London Pulse board have really given us, permission to wrap around this professional care to help the players, and I'm glad you've noticed.
So the first time maybe we see the squad together, I'm not sure if any of the pre-season friendlies will be televised, but be Super Cup. So obviously your squad won't have been together for very long. So what are your kind of goals going to be for Super Cup?
Well, we were on Sky and they asked me about this because I did that was like the highlight of my life, pulling the balls out of the bag, like they do on football. I'd be on Match of the Day, but I was on Sky. Yeah, I did the draw.
All our fixtures out for next year?
No, just for the Super Cup. Yeah. Our goal, genuinely, I think it is really just to enjoy that. And obviously it's performance based, but Tyler, it'll be her first proper run out really with the team. We've got a friendly against London Mavericks at home that our season ticket holders can watch, but no one else. The Super Cup, big arena in Sheffield, be Tyler's first big event with us as a club. It'll be Gracie's first run out, as a senior player with us. So I think just really trying to enjoy it and learn from that, but not really going there with too much pressure because the business end starts the following week.
And Sam, what is the goal for next season?
Same goal,
new output.
So winning Super League?
It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be. I think lots of teams will say, we're trying to make top 4. I think we're always very honest about what we're trying to achieve, and we've got a roster and a staff and facilities and the fans, and I think we've got everything there to be able to give ourselves the best chance of winning. It won't be easy, but that's what we're trying to do.
Time for a game, and we're going to be playing who is most likely to or least likely to. So Sam and Liss have got their whiteboards at the ready. Let's see who wins.
Okay, let's go.
Who would you not want your son to date on the team?
Who you would least like your son to date?
Yeah.
Is this me? For me? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have a son, but if I had a son.
Least likely.
Can I not say myself?
You can say so.
No, I won't do that.
Oh God, so hard.
Darcy's like the cutest, most innocent one.
I know, but they went to school together, Lewis and Darcy, and I feel like that's friendship, not a relationship.
They'd be crossing a line.
They'd be crossing a line.
I've put Queen Sheen because she would eat my little son alive. And I just think she'd eat him alive.
Who would you want to steal from another Super League team?
If you say wing attack,
Can we have 11 players, or do we have to chuck one out?
We'll copy SSN again and have the...
All right, so it's an 11th player.
Can they be in SSN or just Super League?
We've gone Super
What are the
League.
details, Kat? Come on, we need the details.
Or can be next gen, if you like.
Oh my God, what's that name?
Ready? Oh.
I picked Jada just for vibes. Because I miss her.
She's so cute.
Yeah, when I'm not in England, I just miss her.
And she was here, wasn't
And
she?
she was here.
Yeah. Similar, I've picked Tammy because she's an ex-Pulse player, because she will come home to us, hopefully, at some point.
She's just been announced.
And she's just been picked as vice-captain, was it?
Yeah,
or co-captain, which is awesome. And she's a great personality and from London.
Oh, right.
We picked 2 defenders. We're going to get beaten up now.
Yeah. Oh God.
Ali's going to
tell us.
So, who is the most likely to forget their kit?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
You could pick anyone.
Yeah.
Fumes the engineer. That's what Liv calls her.
Ali or Liss?
I can't complain. 2025, a new me. I'll never forget Kit again.
Hallie had about 3 matches last year where she forgot she had Taylor off buying things for her because she'd forgotten essential items.
She didn't have a bra either the other night.
I remember that one going. I was going like, Hallie, you okay? She's like, I forgot my sports bra.
Yeah, that happened about 3 times, I think.
Really not good enough, Hallie.
So, most likely to get sent off. I mean, I'm just saying.
I thought it was very harsh last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Tell the people.
Yeah. I mean, it was harsh, I thought.
Yeah, it was. Still choose someone.
Yeah. Is this for the upcoming season?
Yes, yeah.
I'm scared now.
No, it's fine. You can just tell the truth.
I was going to say, are we including bench? Because...
Oh, what, me? I'm very well behaved nowadays.
I think this person's got it in her to be quite aggressive. Oh!
Sorry, Zara. Yeah.
She's got...
First line of defence.
She has a side to her, doesn't she?
Oh, she's hard.
She has a streak.
Past 5.
Yes. But then nearly everyone did, didn't
Yeah,
they?
she didn't really do anything, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely to run a marathon.
This girl.
Oh, I don't watch that.
She'd probably beat Mo Farah. Wouldn't put it past her.
Marathon. Oh.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, she's gonna go mad at me for that.
But I think yours was a good choice.
Nicole is a runner girl.
Yeah.
She's a runner through and through.
She loves it.
She loves that.
Yeah.
And final one, who has the worst music choice?
She's gonna be really offended. The only reason is, one time on the bus, she was trying to preach Taylor Swift to me, and I just wasn't having any of it.
You don't like Taylor Swift?
Not really, unless it's Love Story.
Is that the one that lasts 10 minutes?
That's the one it's like, no.
What's that one? All Too Well. I have that on the school run.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes?
Yeah.
It's the whole journey.
Thanks for listening to our first episode of Bibs Off. We hope you enjoyed it.
And if you don't already, follow us on Insta at London Pulse Netball.